Well, I've always kind of pictured Queen Elizabeth as having a killer sense of humor. Would you agree?
Oh, totally, totally. I mean, I can remember doing some really naughty things as a child in Buckingham Palace. Because I remember, for example, that the palace stationery was absolutely amazing because was a certain thickness, so you could fold it into paper aeroplanes and put little trajectory, little aerofoils on the back. It was just the right thickness. And then if you stood at the top of a grand staircase, it would just go on and on and on down these huge ground galleries. And I remember doing this when I shouldn't have been doing it. I was like 7 or 8. And I remember one day here and I doing this, and I heard this voice saying, "What are you doing?" And here was Her Majesty. And she said, "Come here." And so I went over, and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm so sorry, Your Majesty," bowing and da da da. And she said, "Oh, don't worry. Come in, come in, come into my sitting room." So I went and spent an hour with her, and I remember she had tea. She ordered tea, and I had hot orange juice, which I thought was a very, very strange thing to give anyway, and chocolate biscuits. And we talked for about an hour. She took her shoes off, put her feet up on the sofa, switched the TV on. We had fun for an hour. And then she picked up, she said, "Oh, I better let your father know where you are," and picked up the telephone and said, "Joe, Jumbo, Stewart's with me." And there is my father saying, "Your Majesty, what?" And then he came, I remember things like that. I mean, she's hysterically funny.
Wow, I like the Queen. I think she is a. I just think she's cool. I'm going to put it like that, because you can see, besides all of the pomp and circumstance, there's a human being there who has ruled with such incredible grace. Uh, in some very, I mean, in 70 years, there have been some very difficult times. And, not everyone's going to do it correctly or do it according to the press or the public, but she's always come out on top.
Mm, mm, mm. I absolutely cohere. I think she's a very remarkable human being, and my own life, which is almost as long as her ascendancy to the throne. Um, I thank God that she was there as an icon to measure ourselves against, because we have never seen her shadow. We have never seen her darkness. We have always seen her grace. We've
Mm.
seen her be aloof, shy. She's immensely shy, which is where the aloofness comes from, of
I
course,
would
as
have
well as,
never, I would have never seen that or even thought that she was shy.
yeah, deeply shy. I mean, there was, over this past weekend, was the Royal Windsor Horse Show. And of course, she loves horses. So there she was, getting out of her Range Rover and walking towards the stand or the marquee where she was sitting. And this wonderful personality who's known very well here, who looks actually a little bit like yourself, Wade, called Alan Titchmarsh. He's a very, very famous TV personality here. He said, "Thank you, Your Majesty, for being here. And we're very pleased that you gave preference to this rather than the state opening of Parliament." And she just went like this. I mean, it was a very, very funny moment.